debating the carnivore diet, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
like the biggest and latest thing lately.
it is and honestly, it's an attractive diet. I'm gonna tell you because if I could sit there and eat steak all day, I'd be one happy lady. But at the same time, I know my body, and I'm like, no, that would never. I would literally go on 50 steps back. But the things that we need to recognize, for those of you that don't know what the carnivore diet is, literally you just eat meat all the
Kind
time.
of like what the Atkins was many, many years ago.
Oh, really? That's how it started?
Well, it sounds like it. It was all meat basically, and fats, and cook with butter, and you can have bacon, and it didn't really specifically limit you, I don't think, to which meat. So pork was okay.
Yeah, that was like
Um,
no diet. It's probably
yeah,
a thing, to be honest.
and it's you taking away the others of no sugars, no gluten, no you know vegetables, no
Yeah.
fruits. It's just meat.
Yep. And see, when you see, okay, so this is what the definition of the carnivore diet is. The carnivore diet is a high protein fat diet in which only animal products such as meat, eggs, and dairy are consumed. Okay, sounds fabulous, right? But there's a few things we have to consider whenever we're thinking of starting something like that. So, number one, what are your health complaints right now? And I think the people that you were talking about and you asking about, they were just having mostly like aches and pains and things like that. Well, that's a
Right.
sign
And
of inflammation.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Where is that inflammation coming from? And if you start talking to people, you can get down to the nitty gritty and the histories, and with age, things come and all that type of stuff. But the further you go, the more you start to realize, like, okay, maybe your body's not actually absorbing what you're putting in it. Maybe you're not processing fats, which is a big reason why a lot of people um, can't lose weight or have a lot of puffiness. Because fats are good, but if we're not processing them, then it can quickly turn into a very toxic situation, which had been my situation in the past. Because the hormone imbalance that I was dealing with, it was constantly said like fats, fats, fats. You got to eat a lot of fats, and yes, that is true. Some fats, but if you're not processing the fats and your liver can't handle this, and the bioprocesses aren't going supposed to, and then your kidneys converting things over, well, it's a problem. And all these fat cells, I'm sorry, all fats into your fat cells, and then you have the puffiness, which is definitely something that I dealt with. No matter how much weight I would lose, I would still look like I was a balloon because I wasn't absorbing properly and I wasn't excreting properly. Um, so I did eat a lot of fats. And that's exactly what would be happening if I did the carnivore diet too. Yes, you need a lot of protein, especially for someone that's dealing with blood sugar instabilities. But if you are constantly putting in this protein with this fat and you don't have any fiber behind that, so those green leafy vegetables, some of the fruits, all that, if you don't have the fiber, there's no binder. So there's nothing to just kind of like collect up all these excess toxins and ship them on out. So what happens whenever you hit a stalemate and a plateau? Because most of the people that you'll talk to, or you'll see all the testimonies for on social media, because this is the latest fad diet, yeah, they're losing weight, but a lot of the times at the beginning, the reason why the weight is being lost is because you are cutting out a lot of those empty calories. There's not as much bread, pastas, rices, things like that. And at first, yeah, that's a good thing. You're eating less calories than you normally would be consuming, and you are getting good choices in from some of these food groups. But also, not everybody's gonna go in and prioritize quality meat over just any old thing that you can pick up at the store either, because you've also got to take into consideration, are you getting in excess nitrates and nitrites? That's going to end up acting like a sugar. It's going to be a chemical in the body that the body has to break down. So now the body has to break down all this excess protein, all these fats, all these chemicals, but there's nothing to bind it to. There's nothing in there to collect it all up, act like a little portal, and get it to move along like it's supposed to. So what's going to end up happening? They're going to hit a plateau eventually, and then the inflammation is going to set in, and then you're going to have the energy problems and the mood problems, and it's just going to be a ripple effect. It's not something that you're going to be able to continue constantly. And when you do add in those food groups again, I can almost guarantee there's going to be some issues that come up because your body already has a lot to handle. So in the grand scheme of things, it looks good from the outside, but on the inside, bar none, you have to have fiber at some point. You have to have these green leafy veggies. We have to have something to take care of all this excess stuff. We also have to make sure that we're supplementing, and not everybody's doing that, because when you do leave out these food groups, already the food is not going to be as good as it used to be in getting us the nutrients that we need. But whenever you leave out these food groups, there's certain vitamins and minerals and nutrients that you're missing out on. So how are you supplementing that? And I can almost guarantee a lot of people aren't supplementing. And if they are, you got to consider the fact that maybe they're not picking the quality supplements either that are going to get them the most therapeutic properties for what they need. I know somebody came in one time and wanted me to look at her vitamin D that she was picking up off the shelf at, I think it was Walmart, one of those stores or whatever. And if you compared it, you'd have had to take like 7 of those compared to the one in the therapeutic grade supplement that we have. So really and truly, if you're not like somebody that's looking at all of these things, the carnivore diet may not be great for you long term. If you are somebody that's going to check off all these boxes and make sure you're paying attention to, am I getting in this? Am I getting in that? How are you filling in the boxes that are not being checked off by the food? Then maybe so. But I'm willing to bet that majority of people are only seeing, oh, this diet, you only eat meat. I can do that. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's pretty much so what they've been doing out there and watching videos on it.
Yeah.
So
and
that is their support group.
Yep. And that's another reason. That's another well, how do I want to put that? It's another reason why community is so important, because this is just a good example. Like you are literally searching out the community that's doing this to help you decide if you want to do this. Okay. So if you think about that, if that is making you have a decision one way or another, it would be a good idea to have community behind you in whatever you decide to do. And that's why we brought the community into the shape program and the group program, because it's so much easier to follow through and get yourself to your goals when you have people behind you encouraging you, and you're seeing success, and you are seeing even the negative side of this, because health is not a one-way street. It's not just going to be a constant up, just as much as you know. I mean, you know this better than anybody probably, with everything that you've had, all the experiences that you've had. It's gonna be a little roller coaster. But when you have people that are also relating to that, it just makes it that much easier to keep going. So yeah, but that's my take on
That's
that
good.
situation.
Very good.
Yep. Anything else?
No, that's it for now.
Alrighty,
That I
so
can
what I'm
think
gonna
of.
do is I am going to get this video downloaded. I'm gonna upload it into the group, and then I will post the mental well-being questionnaire. I encourage everybody to fill it out, even if you don't send it to your practitioner, or you don't, put it up for everybody to see. This is just for you. Like, even if it's just for you to look at and just get a quick inventory of how you're feeling, that's a great use of this. But just know that what you're doing right now is not just physical, it's also emotional. And it's normal to have all of these experiences coming up. If it's something that's bothering you, though, you need to talk to your practitioner, because I know for me, like for example, today in the last few days, but today especially, I've been going after adaptables all day to try to minimize the stress within my body, just because I've had a lot of stuff going on. It's not that I feel like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out, which a lot of people think is stress. Anything can be stress, but because of that, because of stress and some other things that are going on with like my blood sugars and things like that, with celebrations and all that, I've had some situations come up that I'm like, okay, I really have to minimize stress. There are ways and tools and all the things to get past some of these things. Keep the communication open with your practitioners. All righty. Well, thanks for popping in, and I will see you
Yes.
soon.
Okay. Next Wednesday.
Yes, next Wednesday.
Okay. I've got it on my calendar.
All righty.
Have a
Bye.
good week.
You too.
Bye.